some ideas on the board of specific demands that we'd like to met. And so this conversation that's happening right now, George, the first portion will be us presenting our demands to George and having them address those demands tomorrow at 5 o'clock. But today is really the presentation, these demands to George, and then it's going to be opened up for general forum, some concerns on campus from the community. Is that right? So I'm asking the non-natives that were not here, please take a step down with your voices and refrain from commenting on the work that we have been doing for the last hour.
We're here, we're present for all our indigenous folks out there who can't be here. This is for y'all, so you can invite your friends, tune in, and let me know what you need me to say.
So let's start off. Our first demand, unless any of the team would like to come up here and present any demands? No? Yes? So our first demand is that all the demands of the Black and trans community be addressed and met. So that's demand 1. Demand 2, that the Evergreen State College demilitarize and disarm the campus police in favor of a campus security force that is overseen by a student, faculty, and staff review board. That every public announcement of the Evergreen State College begins with an acknowledgement of the indigenous people of the Medicine Creek Treaty, whose land was stolen to establish the college. Demand number 4, that additional funding and resources be allocated to the recruitment and retainment of self-identified Native American undergraduate and graduate students. That the Native Student Alliance administration be transitioned to paid positions by the beginning of fall 2017. That funding space be provided to the establishment of a multicultural center for all marginalized communities. That the campus establishes a zero-tolerance policy regarding racism, hate crimes against students, staff, and faculty. That the Evergreen State College will recruit and hire at least one Native faculty on the tenure track each hiring season. That the Evergreen State College fully fund a 3-day pre-orientation retreat of the Native community's choice for incoming Native American students so they may build community and solidarity prior to the official start of the academic year. That the Evergreen State College fully fund a separate Native American graduation. That the Native American students, staff, and faculty be exempted from the catering and cooking prohibitions of the Aramark food contract. So within the longhouse, they can cook, cater, and eat in freedom regardless of an event qualifying as a potluck or not. And lastly, that the Native American students, staff, and faculty can sustainably collect and harvest the natural resources from any of the Evergreen State College's lands for ceremonial purposes with legal impunity and asking no permission. We also have additional ones that we address forward in a second, but this is our current list of demands. And again, we need to point out that this is a living document and it's up to interpretation, or not up to interpretation, it's not up to interpretation, but we reserve the right to edit it at a future time. We will also be sending this document to our legal representatives, and they'll be typing up the very specific legal jargon and wording in this to make sure that it fully represents our demands and intentions. So you'll be receiving this again after today, but we will be submitting it to a lawyer for our final draft and be presenting to that in detail. So I'm going to open this up at any time for the Native students in the room to bring forward any other suggestions that you'd like this campus to live up to meet their expectations of equity and inclusion on this campus. So I'm opening up the floor to our native students in your conversation, George. Yes.
Questions, just one clarification. So I
Yes.
understand. I apologize, I fully lost my voice. If you can't hear me, I will do my best to speak up. Thank you first for presenting these demands and the spirit in which they're intended. Tell me a little bit about a couple of them that would be helpful for me to fold into the work that we have underway. I accept that fact that this is a living document, as are the demands presented to the college by the Black students and other students, trans and queer students that we received yesterday, and that I will do as much as possible to have these folded into the response of the college to the demands that we have by tomorrow afternoon as well. Some of them we can respond directly to, some of them will take more time than that, but we certainly do, as is the practice of the college, to respond to those we can respond to now as soon as possible, and to those that require work or anticipate achieving additional funding, that we will have to continue to work on that over time. That does not preclude us making a commitment to pursuing these demands. We may not be able to give a definitive answer in 24 hours, but we will make as strong a statement as we can. I can't speak to the second and the last one regarding earmark and the food contract. I understand the interest, and I actually like the request, admire your choice to have that request, and we hope that we can work with the earmark and the food contract to permit that to happen. I simply don't know the details of that contract, what it allows or not. Excuse me. Video, thank you. So that's a question that can we talk a little bit more about that demand in particular?
The earmark demand?
Yes, sir.
So as we understand it, the native group, the Longhouse, and people who want to use the Longhouse as a resource can only utilize it in bringing food for events when it's considered a potluck. So that's our current understanding of it. Additionally, that there is 3 times in which outside the Longhouse that events could be not catered by the campus. So that is our current understanding of it. So we understand that, does anyone else want to comment on this?
I have
I should know more about it.
Yeah, so my name is Melissa Bennett. I'm Umatilla Ms. Per Staff and Staff in the Student Organizations Advisory Student Activities. Before I came here, I was the Senior Program Coordinator for the Native American Student Community Center at Portland State University. And we've also worked with Aramark and had some of these similar issues. But I think the importance of this point is because food isn't just food for Native people. Food is culture. Food connects us to our lands. It connects us to our home. It's spiritual. It has deep, deep meaning. And so we really need a space where we can come together around food and around all that it represents for our culture. Colonization has taken that from us. And it's really important if we're going to be decolonizing spaces on this campus and having safe and sacred space for our Native peoples, that we're able to eat our food. That we're able, if we want to have a celebration and bring in our traditional roots, our traditional berries, our traditional fish, our meats, whatever we need, that we're able to do that. Because it sustains not only our bodies, but our spirit and our culture. They're all connected, right? So it's critical. It's critical to the well-being of our Native people, especially on a college campus where our students are so far removed often from their home. That food is one way that we can connect to our people, to our communities, with each other. We can share food from our different communities and different cultures in a way that helps bring us together in a really healing and beautiful way. So I think that it is of the utmost importance to our health, the health of our communities.
Thank you. I'm hoping that given your experience with Earmark, the city will be willing to inform us about how that worked, right, what was successful, what wasn't successful,
Yeah.
how we can move in our legal binding contract toward achieving the scope. I would like that in written
Unless you want to give me a really nice stipend. Okay.
While that is a joke, I will say that a lot of this work coming up will be on the backs of your staff and faculty and students who, if you intend on retaining, do need support and do need like physical ways to make that work worth their while. We do this work because we care and we'll do it, but that is not how you should have it done.
I agree. And so we will need to figure that out and ensure that we do the very best we can to ensure that it is not on the backs of staff or faculty or students. And if there's additional work that's needed, it's compensated. And I'm supportive of that principle. It should be a guiding principle in the way we move ahead in the future.
I'd just like to say that traditionally, we would hire our own people out of the tribes who traditionally cook from this area to prepare the foods for graduation. And that happened, and we would have elk, and we'd have bear sausage, and we would have a lot of traditional food because we worked with the tribes and their people to cater things, and they were paid money, not Arabic. Then later, what happened is they said, well, we'll prepare the food, but you bring it to us. So then we had to give the food to a catering company to prepare the salmon in a non-traditional way, and without prayers and stuff. So it got really bad. And then this potluck thing. So I think it needs to go back to the people.
I would agree. I think I was not aware that was how it had been in the past, and I think the idea of bringing people from the different tribes to contribute is an excellent idea. Obviously, there's a legal contract. We'll have to see if there's a way that we can modify it to allow that to happen. It would serve many benefits. It would strengthen the college's relationship, I believe. It would strengthen the college's relationship with the tribe. It would bring much greater authenticity to the food that's served, recognizing and acknowledging the cultures that the food represents. So I think it's a great idea. I would love to pursue that and figure out what we can do and how we can make that happen. It sure makes sense.
I think I know she's identifying kind of like the Jewish people. They have food that the rabbi,
Lessons.
yeah, like preserver. That's what it's called. My friend is Iraqi. She only eats food that, I don't understand it all. But I'm in the reservation-based program, and I know that we've had some difficulties also because we wanted Nisqually to be the people who catered our graduation, which is going to be on the 4th. And for some reason there was stops that didn't allow us to do that. And
So that's not happening.
so we don't get to have Nisqually do that. And so that's one reason that Vincent Cook wanted to speak with you and someone else, but somehow it didn't happen. And so this year, that's not going to happen. But I know that it's at the center of the core of our program that we want our native people to be able to cook our food and to maybe make money off of it too. And we don't understand why that can't happen. If you could remember. And one thing it's almost going to be 50 years that this school
So I have some students that are tuning in right now, and a few of the things that were brought up is establishing a Native Student Retention Specialist. 1, financial aid officers trained in working with tribes. 2, specifically a tribal liaison at the level of the president of this college, establishing a government-to-government relationship. And these are things that need to be handled immediately, post-haste. Absolutely. Where would you like me to start? From the beginning?
I have a retention specialist and a tribal liaison.
Okay, so financial aid officers trained in working with tribes, which is very important. And the tribal liaison will be at the level of the president of this college and will have an established government-to-government relationships, keeping in mind that our tribal communities are also sovereign nations. So this is why the government-to-government relationships needs to occur.
This is John Carmichael, the president's chief of staff.
You got one?
I got it. Are there more?
What do you have so far, just to make sure that we have everything down?
Retention specialists, financial aid officers working with tribal issues, and financial aid for tribal students, the tribal liaison to ensure that are at the level of reporting to or connected to the president's office to ensure it's a government-to-government relationships and the tribes are sovereign nations.
Yeah, so the financial aid officers need to be trained in working with tribes specifically. And a Native Student Retention Specialist specifically. And the tribal liaison needs to be at the level of the president to establish the government-to-government relationships due to sovereignty and other federal affiliated.
Also give like a promise of equitable division of funds, because it would be really unfortunate to be pitting people of color versus other people of color for a fund. I don't want to see like Black students having to fight Indigenous students fighting the outside to fight an equitable division should be a promise, should be a guarantee. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Again, something to add to that is that we need very specific training about a lot of these issues that were brought up, tribal sovereignty, government relationships, and we'd like
Ew.
something that is promised to natives and should be upheld by this institution.
To add on to that as well, there's also within all treaties that are conducted in the United States, there is a provision for education. That in dealing with the government relationships of Native people and this institution, that they have a moral and legal obligation to provide adequate and equitable education to Native American individuals alongside healthcare and alongside our spiritual health community.
Another issue I'd like to bring up that students have come to me about, I've only been here since February, so I don't have a lot of personal experience with that on this campus. So if there are students here who do, please speak up and share your stories. And something that I've heard is that students who are like student groups that are having a cultural event often have issues getting the funding that they need or using funding in a certain way in regard to protocols. So we have a lot of protocols in the community. For example, if there's a powwow going on and we have drummers coming in, we want to give them cash money to take home. You know, we want to give them over that cash that day, that moment. They don't need to fill out a bunch of W-9s and paperwork. We just give them that money because they've earned it. They've come there, they've done the work, they've spent time with the community, and they need money to get home and feed their families and those kind of things. So that's just one example. But I know that that can be challenging within the institutional structure, as far as the institution respecting those cultural protocols and allowing us to interact with our communities in ways that are really appropriate. And I don't think those financial things should be hindered. Yeah. And if there's students who've had that experience, please.
I know that our reservation-based program has wanted to have used, see, I'm not exactly clear. I am the student body, so of the reservation-based program. I know that we had difficulties being able to have enough money so that every person that graduated would get a gift blanket. And I know that Cindy, my teacher, is wanting to be able to give some blankets and also we did beadwork, which we make necklaces to give away. So I know that she's had some difficulty in working that process out, and I don't understand the ins and outs, all of it, but I know that it's been a difficulty. And Jennifer James, she told me that also when they do dealings with people, like one time Cindy said, well, just email. But Jennifer James said, no, that's not the way that Native Americans do deals. They need to go face to face and have, I guess maybe it's called protocol. Like we do a handshake and we have an understanding. It shouldn't be done always on email. It should be face to face. We have understanding of what's really going on, and so that you can trust each other. You know, that your word means what it means.
Hey George. I'm sorry you lost your voice at the same time as students down there. In regards to like funding of clubs, it's always really bugged me that some appropriative clubs, I'm not going to say their name, but we all know who they are, and other clubs that play board games are treated on the same level as Black Student Union and Native Student Alliance. I don't know if that's giving preference or priority to the cultural student groups, or if it's a separate funding entity from the SNA board. But
some freshmen talked to me about how they came from Indiana and they never knew that Native Americans even existed from where they were from. And I feel that we are in a very unique place here in Western Washington to be able to share and show with those that aren't just coming from outside of our community, but those inside our community, that we have a strong Native American presence here, and just kind of introduce them to that world.
And I think that's underlines the importance of emphasizing the Medicine Creek Treaty within every acknowledgement, just to, as a practice of decolonization, to say, like, when you come to this school, this is whose land you're standing on, I think would be an important first step in students coming from around the country, knowing physically where they are and what people they stand on.
Anything else for the order?
My name is Rebecca Saspuch. I'm Assiniboine Sioux Northern Youth. I'm an alumni, and I'm asking that your cameras not be pointed at me. So I'm an alumni. I graduated in 2013. I was a part of all of the powwows from 2010 to 2013. So I would, first of all, I want to put down my prayers of support and words of encouragement to the Native students here and the Native staff and faculty, because I know this struggle all too well. And these demands have been a very long time coming. These struggles in which are on this board surpass even when I came here. So it's really important that you walk away with this information and honor the things that you're doing, because it is crucial. I worked for First Peoples for the 4 years that I was here and actively supported Native student retention, and all of the things that are being asked for are crucial to that Native retention. And I really want to emphasize what my sister here said about the powwows, because those powwows, I've been told in the 3 years that I helped those powwows happen, they were crucial to the communities in this area. I had people come and shake my hand and say, thank you for bringing that back. Thank you for opening the space up to us. And that's a crucial part in also welcoming Native youth into higher education and seeing that there's a place for them. And time again, it was difficult for us as students to be able to navigate the system to make those spaces possible for ourselves and for our communities. So, especially the conversation around Earmark, there were time and time again where Earmark doing those powwows, because I organized all of the vendors, and we did not have food vendors because the setup that we had enabled those people from not only funding, but having all of the resources to be able to come out and support the community. And so that's a crucial thing. But I just really encourage everything that everyone has said here, and just say way out for that. Thank you to the students that are here, working through this system that is brutal. It is brutal. So power to you.
So, real quick, we have alumni students that would like to say something. And one of the things that were brought up is that we need more Indigenous faculty and all-level Indigenous studies courses available every quarter. Right now, there are only a small handful of Indigenous professors compared to European American professors. Yeah.
I would take it a step further in what she said. I'm going to echo that. We've been having this conversation for nearly 40 years. And each generation of students that come through is faced with the same one, and we work through it, we find our support, and we figure out how to move on. I want to say that as someone who's very tied to Evergreen, many of you that know me know that this is like my second home. Very surprised to hear what's been happening out here the last few days. Very upsetting. It made me sad. I cried. I cried when I heard that police were being called on students for the same damn thing that we did 30 years ago. We got so much support. Nobody would have even thought about calling security on us. When we marched up the clock tower to save Bill Brown and became white in his job, and sat in that provost office for a day and a half. And we're allowed to sit there. So I'm really disturbed about the climate that doesn't allow for this sort of action and discourse, if you will, to happen. And I'm really sorry that the campus police, who are part of this community, are pitted against students of color because of perceived power and privilege by certain faculty members and staff on this campus. And I also want to mention that I'm one of the administrators for the First People's Alumni Facebook page. They are watching. We're writing about it. I want you to share this with them too, the First People's Alumni page, because they want to know what's going on. They want to show their support. We want to show our support. We want you to become members of that Facebook page so that you can have this conversation, you can ask these questions. There are so many of us out there that will talk to you. Please let us talk to you. And I want to thank you, sir. It's nice to see you again for coming. And thank you for allowing this alumni and this older guy to come and join your circle. I appreciate it.
Bring out that in the RBC program, the reservation program, that right now there's only 2 people, me and Tamara and then Chris. That's all that was in the program for this fall. And Cindy said that some of the, I don't know what they're called, the rules or I don't know, but the standards were set too high so that less students were able to be in our program. And I don't know what that's all about, but I believe that that everyone in this college, especially the president, and I have this good sense about you. I feel like that you do care about us, and I've always felt that about you. I don't know why. So I appreciate that. But I want everyone here at Evergreen to know that, especially in gratitude that this land is Native Americans, that we owe it to our people, that we in this
weren't ready for traditional learning. They couldn't deal with traditional learning. And so by the end of their senior years, on average, they were graduating with about a 5th grade reading level. And a lot of that is because of the system of the more traditional competitive system of education in normal schools. But I do think that it is very important and pertinent to us to open our arms to these Native students who have been burned by traditional methods of education. And I think that we're making good progress as is, having relatively lax acceptance requirements. But I do think that, especially for Native American students, that opening up further is definitely needed. I know some of one of my cousins, he applied here, but he wasn't accepted. He did not have a high school diploma because he lived out in the middle of the reservation. He was a two-hour drive away from the highway, and you had to take a boat to get to his house. And there was no way that he could get a high school diploma or even a GED. And so I do think that it is very important for us to open our minds and the way that we do things in regards to acceptance requirements.
Something comes to mind in thinking about the success of Native students is not a problem of traditional learning. It is a problem of schools not being student ready, not being Native student ready, and not working with traditional knowledges. So this is not an ask to change qualifications for students. This is an ask for the institution to change its qualification to serve Native students. You can watch the video. What I'm saying is you cannot ask, we are not asking in any way or demanding in any way for Native students to have more ways to be prepared for college. We're asking for the institution to be more prepared for Native students.
I want to make make you aware of an existing accommodation for teachers of Native languages in the state that in order for speakers of Native language to become teachers of their languages, they can bypass traditional certification, and that's a law. And so I'm just thinking about that, and it's like there are ways of going through the process to get some kind of accommodation that will work for Native students or for any alternative students that come from a different background. That it's really a pedagogical expectation that we meet the needs of all students rather than using a dominant approach.
Okay.
It's a habit at this point. I've introduced myself to half of you. So those of you watching at home, my name is Dylan McCartigan. I'm registered Iowa Tribe. And another thing that happened to me while I was living on campus was I had a bundle of sage it was the same charge as lighting candles in my room, I believe. I got, yeah, they assumed that I was burning it in my room, so it was the same as if they found a candle in my room.
And I would extend that. I'm that kind of person. I burn sage as a spiritual practice. I burn a lot of medicines, and I brought it to my office and I burn it because that's my right as a Native person. And as a I have the ability. The law protects me to practice my faith. I'm also a Native chaplain, which cracks me up because they're so like they seem so different. But I would extend that also to staff and faculty who need to feel safe to be able to do that. And like I work with staff who are like, yes, come smudge me, come smudge my office, which is great. But I realize it's not like that all over campus. And so just having staff and faculty be able also have a safe place to be able to practice their faith.
And so this comes from an amazing student that graduated from the Evergreen State College, Madeline Ryder, who cannot be here but is present and live with us. So her question is, what are the next steps, George, specifically, that the immediate actions that are going to be taken after, today, or if not, in the next 20 minutes? Also, John Carmichael, how do you plan to use your privilege, power, and resources to take actions for Native students right now? And how do we know that this isn't another waste of our time? So we want to see an action plan. That comes from my sister Serene, who is also a graduate of this institution. So this is what they want to know. What's the immediate action? What's happening right now for Native students today?
That wasn't the question.
Today, not tomorrow. But as of right now, what can you do with what we propose here up on the screen and what we've discussed as a community? What can you do right now?
I have to say, there are many aspects of your demands that I'd like to improve. I need to think about the resources that they will require. And that will take, I can't make a commitment today, right now. But I promise you I will make a commitment to many of these tomorrow in some form. And I need to go back, given the fact that we're working on pretty short notice, to address them as many as I can tomorrow. And then it is a living document, just like the work of the college is living. They're not going to leave my mind. They're not going to leave the priorities. And we will continue to work on those that we are able to address and meet.
What do we walk away with today to make us feel okay about this meeting?
I can't hear you.
What do we walk away with today to make us feel okay about having taken the time to have this meeting with you? So many of us, like there are two of you sitting here. There are a lot of us in this room. And our time is worth as much as yours. So I would like to know, when we walk out of this room, what do we walk out here with to make us feel good about having come to you and spent our time and having been guests? Like, what do we walk away with? What promises, what guarantees, what are you doing for us?
So Madeline called me out by name, and so hello Madeline, I'm happy to hear from you again. And I guess I feel I should respond too in my own voice. And I want to say you were invited here because of the groups who were bringing demands yesterday, and we knew that you would have demands for us today, and I'm grateful for this evening today. And we were invited here
George, so asking about what can happen today, what you guys can commit to. Bullet points 3 and the last one, the first one regarding the every public announcement, and the last one regarding being able to collect, sustainably collect, gather, and harvest natural resources. Those two bullet points, I think, in my opinion, you guys can commit to right now, without having to look at funding, without having to look at legal narratives. Can we get commitment at least on those two? Because I understand the other ones are complex, you need to find funding, you need to look into legal matters and whatnot. Yes.
As we will be doing the same. So George just committed that bullet points number 2, that Evergreen State College.
I'm a slow
To
reader,
answer it.
and assimilating these many ideas. I typically go back to my office and think about them, but thank you for pointing those out. And I'm committed, and those will happen. You're welcome. And you'll see it in writing.
Okay. And if anybody pushes you back, if those folks push back, who are you going to be thinking about?
Who's folks?
The folks you got to talk to get the rest of this taken care of. You're going to think about us. You're going to think about the Native students.
I'm committed to this.
Absolutely. So when they tell you no, you tell them why, and you tell them this is the people. Okay.
I think she means the other points as well. Not
Yeah.
just those 2 that you committed to, but the other points.
No, the other ones too will go, those are gonna require some time, some work. I'll get as much of that work done as we can over there. And, deliver as much as we can more. But I'm committed to those 2 certainly right now. And there will be no opposition to that. Those are very reasonable requests that we can address in a timely manner. So, thank you. Thank you very much for my attention, Charles.
And just for, as a reference for those of you that came in the room after our initial conference, my name is Charles, and I'm a new member of the year outside of the
One of the things that I've heard from comments online and from some of the other speakers in the room is there's a general sense that the administration as a whole doesn't really care about us. And to a certain extent that's true. I would, however, like to say that George Bridges definitely does care about students of color and Indigenous students in particular. Last Tuesday night, one of our almost committed suicide. Trigger warning, sorry. And sent an email to George, and George responded immediately, which shows that 1, he checks his emails outside of work hours, which is one point that he cares. 2, he immediately notified people that needed that could help the student. And 3, he immediately called the student personally and kept him on the phone until help could arrive. So George does care about us and our issues. The administration may not, but George does. So that's just one thing. My friend's alive today because of George Bridges.
Ika olelo no kiolo, ika olelo no kamake.
Okay. So, thank you all for being here. Not to the forum, but let's do something before we jump into that. Look at us, George. Look how many Native people are here today. Is there very many? Not many you like. This room should be filled with hundreds of Native Americans from all our tribes from just around here, from everywhere. And the fact that there isn't speaks to something very deep and very wrong with this institution. And you need to address that. I'd like to read a quote from the very great Beverly Tatum that I think really informs what's happening on this campus. So Beverly Tatum once said,
I sometimes visualize the ongoing cycle of racism as a moving walkway at the airport. Active racist behavior is equivalent to walking fast on a conveyor belt. The person engaged in racist behavior has identified with the ideology of our white supremacist system and is moving with it. Passive racist behavior is equivalent to standing still on the walkway. No overt effort is being made, but the conveyor belt moves and the bystanders along to the same destination as those who are walking actively. But unless they are walking actively in the opposite direction at a speed faster than the conveyor belt, unless they are actively anti-racist, they will find themselves carried along with the others. And George, you may not be an active racist. You may not be a white supremacist or a KKK, but your lack of action still makes you a racist.
Yeah.
And you said yesterday in the meeting, you said all these words like, oh, like I was, you know, I didn't understand this or I didn't understand that, or like you misinterpreted me. Don't misrepresent yourself in those talks tomorrow. Don't misrepresent yourself right now. What you're doing is racist, the lack of action. And tomorrow when you address the students, I want you to say that. I'm a racist for not doing the work that needs to be done on this campus. That is a necessity. That is fundamental. And I promise you that. We have our demands right here. And yesterday I presented the demands to you in your office. And they were up in your face. You know, they were yelling, they were cussing at you. And it may seem intimidating. And you may come here to our meeting and we're talking with you in an equal manner. We're talking with you without stopping you or interrupting you. So we're giving you a level of respect because we understand you've done some good work for this campus. You've donated to the Longhouse, to the art center over there, and you stop people from committing suicide. But don't let this go into your mind. Don't misconfuse us or misrepresent us. That should you not meet these demands and work your ass off to at least try to address the ones that you can't, that we will be back. And we will right here, what we're doing right here right now, we're trying the right way. We're trying to negotiate with you. We're trying to do this on your terms. If you cannot do this on our terms, on these terms, and meet our demands, we'll be back. And we won't be holding a council. And we won't be doing it nicely or negotiating. You see what happened in Dakota, North Dakota? Do not meet these demands in a timely manner and to our full respect and to our standards. I'm not saying we're going to do it, but the only option after that is action. And that action is likely to be violence. And that's not saying any of us are going to be violent. But looking at history, when these sort of instances happen, that's the only recourse that individuals who had violence enacted against them have. So George, I'm begging you, please, meet our demands.
No begging, brother.
And when we come back, there will be violence. Does that make sense?
I'm honored to be here. I will work as hard as I possibly can to pursue those demands as fully as possible. And I will do everything we can within the possibility of ours to achieve it. If we can't do them all, we will continue to work on them. And I expect you to come back and hold me accountable, hold the college accountable for
You don't have to raise your hand here.
Hi, I'm Jared. I'm an international student. I'm trans, I'm queer. From Hong Kong. I lived in Washington for about 3 years now. This is the first time I've been on a campus where this is happening, and I'm thoroughly impressed and wowed by the students that have done this and the faculty that have been supporting this whole system. Something that has been on my mind is the fact that the one international student council that we have on campus is an American white man. While I can feel comfortable with him speaking on major issues like my credits or what classes I should take, I do not feel safe or, I guess, comfortable being able to speak with him one-on-one. As someone who is marginalized, I'm not able to connect with him. The one person I've been able to talk to within the counseling area, the wellness center, is also a white man. He is gay. However, he cannot speak to many of the experiences I have as someone who is not from this country, not cis, not straight, not many things that a lot of people are able to, I guess, be privileged by. And I want to be able to raise that concern and speak to how previous people have spoken about the wellness center becoming more diverse and more open to people who are not, I guess, strictly from the U.S. as well. And the administration has been doing that to people of color since the genesis of Evergreen. And so it's frustrating to be working with these groups and to be working with these marginalized people and to even have to make demands when the administration and white people don't have to do that. They just get to take what they want.
Going on to that, I don't know if you're aware or not, maybe you are, but for Native peoples, Western education was a tool for genocide.
Mhm.
Not at this point. So it's a huge risk to Native people to come to school. Huge. And so when we come to a school, we need resources, we need support, we need all the things we talked about. But just to be aware of that history, I think is really important.
Yeah, I think to add on that, and you know, my brother who went to Shimala, where I worked at for a long time, that school opened in the 1880s. There's a graveyard on that campus.
Mhm.
And our languages, our histories were physically stolen from us. So I think the fact that, you know, we should be offering many native languages as classes here. Like, I don't see why that's, you know, those are things that we're taking from us. So I think it would be incredibly powerful if you come to a school to learn our languages.
And at least for my language went extinct in 2011 with that with my granddad. That's not a laughing matter. But a revival of my language was made possible by the BBC and other institutions coming in and helping us revive it. And I would love to see, and this isn't a demand or anything, but I would love to see Evergreen be part of that revival. And I know my tribe is a couple hundred miles away from here, but I would love for the opportunity to be able to learn my language beyond just a couple dozen words.
I think if we do that though, there should they should either be 2 credits, or they should only be 2 credits, because to take 20 credits is ridiculously expensive, and like most students can't afford it, let alone most native students, and also if it is 4 credits and you can't afford to take 20 credits, then you have to then take not a 16 credit class or talk with your professors, which can either cause anxiety to talk to a faculty member about that, or a lot of stress due to taking a 12 credit and a 4 credit and a 2 credit or something like that. So.
Sure. Good afternoon. I am Cocoa Sandals. I am not from Albany and fluent Tasmanian. And I'm speaking for my family, and I'm speaking for my friends that will be here after I have graduated. But my main concern is on
So George, as a Kanaka Maoli myself, coming to Evergreen was a big step for me. And the one thing I did not appreciate is how graduation ceremonies here made a mockery of our traditions as Pacific Island people, okay? When a lei makana is given to someone, it is given in ceremony, it is given with honor, it is given with mana. Mana is our strength, our power. And to see that this institution is allowing someone who works here in admissions to profit off of my culture, the culture of our Pacific people, our Pacifica people, okay, that is disrespectful. And it's not pono. Pono means to be right, okay? And it does not sit well with me as a Kanaka to see that happen and to see it advertised as Hawaiian lei graduations. Brah, where did you get the freaking permission to say Hawaiian lei graduation? Did you do the research about our people? Do you know that Kanaka Maoli, our sovereign nation, we are still a sovereign nation. We are occupied illegally by the United States government, okay? Our high Hawaii is flying high in this longhouse and they honor us, okay? Our brothers and sisters, they honor us. That's why they sit with us, next to us, in this circle. So, as a Kanaka, I don't want to see that anymore. I want that to be pulled immediately. There are other ways and other avenues for indigenous folks to honor their people, for Pacifica people to honor their graduates, their faculty, their staff. I don't want to see this institution having a non-Kanaka, a non-Pacifica person selling and profiting off of our culture, period. So I don't want to see any more Hawaiian lei graduations being sold, advertised through the student store, through someone who works here who is not Kanaka descent or Pacifica descent. Okay? I don't want to see that anymore. There are other organizations that are Kanaka run, that are Pacifica run, Hawaii General Store, that can provide fresh lei makanas for the graduates. Were they considered? No. Was our community involved in the sale of these lei makanas? No. But our names, our people, our language is plastered over signs? No, that's not pono. So it needs to be removed immediately. I don't want to see that during graduation unless a Kanaka, a Pacifica person is consulted, a student, a staff member. We have a staff member who is Kanaka Maoli who works in the retention of tribal students for the MPA program. Was she considered? Was she thought about? Was the students thought about? And this is Puanani Nihua, okay? That is a Kanaka Waine. Was she consulted? Was she able to give this information to folks? Did you ask Native students who actually know about our protocol? Which they do know, because we communicate as indigenous people, as Aboriginal people. We are on the same spiritual levels, and we are connected. We don't have to speak. We just look at each other and we know. So, as of this year, I don't want to see that. And moving forward, unless a Kanaka, a Pacifica person, a faculty member is consulted, and a student is consulted. So I don't want to see that during graduation at all. Mahalo.
You know, I would really encourage you in administration to, you know, especially for those Black and trans folks who aren't here too, and to look at, for you to the administration to look at all of these young people here, all of these warriors and elders here, because what they're bringing in the rage that they're speaking of is righteous, but it's that good medicine, and it's that strong leadership. And I really would encourage you to look at the 5 foci in which this institution is founded on, Because every single one of the things that they have listed in this demand, that 5 foci is founded on. And if you look at that 5 foci, and you look at indigenous ways of learning, because that's all Evergreen is trying to do, is copy indigenous ways of learning. And you have the leaders here in this room bringing it. So be grateful. And I also just want to say to all you leaders here that the ancestors are with you. They're with you. And you're bringing their prayers and their work and sacrificing for them. So I say te koe ata.
The reason that I do this work, because I was a student here. I graduated in 2002. I took a $5,000 a year pay cut to come and take this job. Because I wanted to come home. I wanted to come back to this longhouse. I wanted to come back to this campus that held me when I was a student. But I also wanted to give back to the students what I didn't have when I was a student. As a Native student here, I was so alone. There was a longhouse, but there wasn't any funding for programs. There was nothing happening here. We had our classes here, which was nice, but I didn't have resources. I graduated in 2002. And it hurts my heart to see that not much has changed in almost 20 years. And I want to be part of this work. And I want to listen to these stories. And I love these students and these alumni and this community so much. I'll give you my whole heart and the work of my ancestors. Come here and I have skills and I have gifts that I want to bring to this community. And I want to be empowered.
You need a space, you need to come, smudge, you need to hang out, you just want to sit on a couch, take a nap, come to my office. You know? It doesn't matter if you're in one of my student groups, if I advise you or not, it doesn't matter. You come in and find a space in my office. But I just want to offer that. This is why I have this job. This is why I do this work. Because there was a need. And now I want to be part of the other side of that, where we're creating the resources for our students that are lacking, and that I don't need isn't the right word because it's our inherent right.
Absolutely.
Thank you for being here and for listening, and for taking your time to come into this space with us and see how Native folks do things.
Yeah.
And to trust, as you were saying before, you know, we don't want to have to do this the Native way where the ancestors show up. Like really show up. You don't want grandma cheating from you, but she will. But thank you.
This is a little thing for all the Native students. Self-care is important, and part of self-care is food, and part of food for Natives is commodities. And you too can sign up for commodities. I got my commodities today from the Nisqually tribe. So if you're just a student attending here at Evergreen, and you live in the area, I'm more than willing to help you get set up with commodities so you can get some free food and ease your financial burden to be able to continue your education. Also,
I was just going to say that I did in ILC at the Nisqually Farm, and right across from the casino, it was on Thursdays that if you were Native American, you could just go there and get free vegetables. It was either Wednesday or Thursday, so students
food. I've decided to have a potluck type thing at my apartment tomorrow night. Once again, my name is Dylan, D-Y-L-A-N, McCardigan.